kill me, chew me, sue me, everybody do me, kick me, kite me, don't jump like a bite me. All I wanna say is that they don't really care about us. All I wanna say is that they don't really care about us. Tell me what has become of my life. I have a wife and two children who love me. I am the victim of police brutality. No, I'm tired of being the victim of hate. Remember me, I'm a bride for God's sake. And let the God do fulfill this prophecy. Set me free, skin-headed. Everybody gone past competition. Beat me, hate me, you can never break me. Will me, thrill me, you can never kill me. Chew me, sue me, everybody do me. Kick me, kite me, don't jump like a bite me. All I wanna say is that they don't really care about us. All I wanna say is that they don't really care about us. Tell me what has become of my life. I have a wife and two children who love me. I am the victim of police brutality. No, I'm tired of being the victim of hate. Remember me, I'm a bride for God's sake. And let the God do fulfill this prophecy. Set me free, skin-headed. Everybody gone past competition. Beat me, hate me, you can never break me. Will me, thrill me, you can never kill me. Chew me, sue me, everybody do me. Kick me, kite me, don't jump like a bite me. All I wanna say is that they don't really care about us. All I wanna say is that they don't really care about us. Tell me what has become of my life. I have a wife and two children who love me. I am the victim of police brutality. No, I'm tired of being the victim of hate. Remember me, I'm a bride for God's sake. And let the God do fulfill this prophecy. Set me free, skin-headed. Everybody gone past competition. Beat me, hate me, you can never break me. Will me, thrill me, you can never kill me. Chew me, sue me, everybody do me. Kick me, kite me, don't jump like a bite me. All I wanna say is that they don't really care about us. All I wanna say is that they don't really care about us. Tell me what has become of my life. I have a wife.
May I have your attention, please?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the final countdown. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Back here, the Rat 6 racing. We're going to do 130 laps, 3 sets of tires as they're rolling off pit road.
Dr. Friday, you got a copy up there? I do, sir. You ready to kick this thing off? Let's rock and roll. Hey, stars off. You ready?
Green flag here, racing once again in the Rat 2 Racing League.
First opportunity getting into turn 1 and 2, and they're going to see Nate Lesto on the bottom side of that Nesquik Toyota Camry. Huge run.
John Crosby in the 77. We'll go at it, the 73 and the 77. Door to door to 1
out
and 2.
of turn 4, and they start heading back. Oh, then they wreck 18 around big. On the trigger, just hurled it to the inside. That was nearly a mess.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular upon spur
our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jacob Williams, and I will be your host for the evening for our Thursday night Nextgen series. Tonight, we are currently at Martinsville, formerly known, or not formerly known, but known as the famous Paperclip. And with tonight, we will have 200 laps, 4 tire sets to get these guys through the race, no faster pairs, and 2 green-white checkered attempts. With that being said, we're going to do a recap from last week at Darlington. You know, and our podium finishers was John Crosby, Tom Ringer, and Brandon Hinton. And you know, in the week before that, those three, not in the exact same order, but they were also our podium finishers as well. And as we go into tonight, we are going to see something that I don't think we have ever seen been done before in our league, and that is 6 wins in a row. And whenever I mean 6 wins in a row, it's winning 6 consecutive times, and that would be Mr. John Crosby. And so tonight we're going to see if he can put on a show, throw out the elbows, and work his way towards the victory lane. And with that being said, we're going to go to a quick commercial break to allow these guys to finish up their warm-up, and then before too long we will get to the rolling grid.
When the days are cold and the cards all fold and the saints we see are all made of gold, when your dreams all fail and the ones we hail are the worst of all and the bloods run stale, I wanna hide the truth, I wanna shelter you, but with the beast inside, there's nowhere we can hide. No matter what we breed, we still are made of greed. This is my kingdom come, this is my kingdom come. When you prove my feet, look into my eyes, it's where my demons hide, it's where my demons hide. Don't get too close, it's dark inside, it's where my demons hide, it's where my demons hide. When the days are cold and the cards all fold and the saints we see are all made of gold, when your dreams all fail and the ones we hail are the worst of all and the bloods run stale, I wanna hide the truth, I wanna shelter you, but with the beast inside, there's nowhere we can hide. No matter what we breed, we still are made of greed. This is my kingdom come, this is my kingdom come. When you prove my feet, look into my eyes, it's where my demons hide, it's where my demons hide. Don't get too close, it's dark inside, it's where my demons hide, it's where my demons hide. When the days are cold and the cards all fold and the
And we are back. And with that being said, we are going to get started on our starting grid. In row number 1, we have John Crosby and Grayson Pate. In row number 2, we have Zach Engel and Cole Morton. In row number 3, we have Tom Ringer and my personal favorite paint scheme of the night, Victor Etheridge. In row number 4, we have Jonathan McIntosh and Will Weber. Row number 5, Bobby Rowden and Todd Perrant. In row number 6, Brandon Yates and Ethan Horst. Row number 7, Sean Dion and Thomas Wynn. In row number 8, we have Tyler Waltz and Brian Sousa. In row number 9, we have Mr. Brandon Hinton and Cody Deek. And that will be it for our grid tonight. Roughly 17 guys on the track. The lights are out on the pace car, and we are about to get underway, ladies and gentlemen. A little short track action tonight. We'll see how many cautions we're going to be victim to tonight. Roughly 200 laps. Let's see if the guys can keep it clean, nice and easy. Pace car is in, and here we go. Green flag is out. Oh, a little bit of a checkup already from Zach Engel. A little bit of a slow restart. Tom Ringer ended up into the back end of him at that point. John Crosby with a great jump. Grayson Pate behind him. Cole Morton, Zach Engel, Victor Etheridge. Now as they come into 3, coming through 4. Hopefully no. Oh, here we go. Everyone's getting sideways. A little log jam going to end up back there in the back. A lot of cars collected on that already. Let's take it back and see who got loose. Ooh, looks like Jonathan McIntosh just got into that back left quarter panel of Will Weber, and Todd Perrant really didn't have any time to react. Kind of ended up colliding with him, kind of squeezed out. Then Bobby Rowden and Ethan Horst ended up collecting each other. Brandon Yates and Tyler Waltz. Looks like Thomas Wynn kind of got out of it. Lucky him. Brian Sousa unfortunately ends up trying to dive down to miss Will Weber for T-boning him, but kind of collects his front right there. Let's take this back one more time. We'll take it from Brian Sousa's point of view. Yeah. I don't know if Jonathan McIntosh just got a little loose or if Todd Perrant ended up getting into him. Bobby Rowden ended up collecting Jonathan McIntosh right there. Tyler Waltz got loose. Brian Sousa just trying to miss Will Weber. Collects the front end of him. Lucky for Cody Deek, he didn't make contact with anyone. Ended up slowing up a little bit. Let's take a look at it from Todd Perrant's point of view. No, it looks like just Jonathan McIntosh just came in a little hot. Ooh, yeah, came in a little hot. Got connected Will. Ooh, Todd barely missed him. Well, here we go. Lights are out. Pace car is in. And we are going to go one more time. John Crosby in front, Grayson Pate on the outside. Cole Morton right behind him. What a jump from John Crosby at that point. Grayson Pate, a little bit of a slow up. So hopefully we can keep it clean. Coming through 2, down the backstretch, about to enter to 3 and 4. A little side by side. Tom Ringer, Todd Perron, Zach Engel. Victor Etheridge right there on the inside of Zach Engel. Behind him, Ethan Horst. See if we can get a little single file action going. Yeah. Get everyone stretched out. Ooh, caution is out. Caution is out. Again, let's see. I am showing Sean Dion and possibly Jonathan McIntosh ended up colliding with one another. Let's take a replay and see what happened here. Ooh. Oh. Looks like Jonathan McIntosh just kind of locked up the brakes at that point, and the back end came out from underneath him. Well, I don't think he ended up getting to the backside of Brandon Hinton. No, just locked up the brakes, and then unfortunately Sean Dion ended up collecting him from the self-spin that Jonathan had. Well, now we got everyone entering the pits. Not everyone. I take that back. We have Will Weber, Brandon Yates, Jonathan McIntosh, Tyler Waltz a lap down. Actually, 3 laps down. And then Brian Sousa still in the pits. Let's see if he's still making repairs. Yeah, Tyler Waltz was in there for 2 minutes. Sean Dion had 45 seconds of damage. Will Weber about 6 seconds, and Jonathan McIntosh at that last caution about 2 seconds of damage. For everyone tuning in, we are on our second caution of the night. John Crosby is still our race leader. Lap 12 of 200. Lights are about to be out on the pace car, and we are about to go back green. John Crosby, Grayson Pate, Cole Morton, Tom Ringer. Here we go. Oh, looks like the wheels can just end up. Ooh, here we go. We're still green. Grayson Pate looks like he just got loose on that restart right there. John Crosby out front, Cole Morton second, Tom Ringer in third, Grayson Pate fourth, Victor Etheridge right there on the backside of Grayson Pate, kind of entering it a little deep, going into one, rolling through two. See if Victor can make that pass on Grayson Pate right there during the practice. And Victor has ran pretty consistent times, about a 19.3. Oh, there he goes. He's just making it a little too deep. Hopefully Victor can keep it clean. he's got the pace to be able to get towards the front, but we'll see if the eagerness behind him will claim him victim. Right on board with Mr. Victor Etheridge. Ooh, a little bit of a lockup. Victor Etheridge right there on the backside of Tom Ringer. I don't think Tom's going to allow him to really go by, and I think Tom's going to throw those elbows out and say, no, not today, sir, not today. Tom, in my opinion, is probably one of the best short track racers I've met. Tom is a big component of slower is better, and he'll ride that bottom line, save that fuel and save his tires, and then once you think you have him, I mean, at that point he just puts the gas straight to the floor. He ends up picking up the pace. Kind of check back towards the middle of the pack at this point. Bobby Rowden, Ethan Horst, Thomas Wynn behind Bobby. Then behind Thomas, we have Brandon Hinton, Cody Deek, and then Will Weber. Will Weber down 5 positions. Cody Deek up 6. Brandon Hinton up 6. And Brandon Hinton and Cody Deek are both tied for the biggest movers of the night. You see Brandon Hinton right there on the backside of Thomas Wynn. Brandon Hinton down there on the bottom side, entering in 3, going through 4. Looks like Thomas just kind of allowed Brandon and Cody to just go by and just didn't really fight for that position. We'll see if Thomas is, a little bit of a lockup right there from Will Weber. Now it kind of looks like we got everyone single file. Hopefully we've gotten away from the chaos a little bit. John Crosby roughly has about 0.6 of a second on Cole Morton at this point. John Crosby, hasn't really been able to shake Cole Morton. Cole Morton's actually been keeping up the pace. Yeah, I mean, John has roughly about 0.6, but I mean, compared to everyone else, I mean, from Cole to Pate, I mean, roughly about 2.5 seconds at that point. So, I mean, Cole and John. Let's see how the rest of the night pans out. But I want to say Cole's going to be able to put it to John Crosby this evening. But you know, John's really on the hunt for that sixth win in a row. So we'll be interested to see how both of them save their tires, if they're going to end up saving. Because the fuel run tonight, roughly the guys are telling me during the practice session, about on a tank they were able to get roughly 135 laps. So if it goes green, it's going to be a one-stop run. And so at that point, it's really just how much are you going to burn up the tires at that point? We have a little bit of lap traffic. It looks like that is Brandon Yates at that point. Yates is 2 laps down. Caught in that little, it looks right there on the backside of his bumper. Looks like he has a little bit of damage from maybe where earlier in the cautions just had a little fender bender. Hopefully not too much. Yeah, it's pretty pushed in a little. Yeah. John Crosby right there on the backside of Brandon Yates at that point. Just rolling through 1 and 2, coming down the backstretch. Right on board with Mr. Cole Morton. Looks like Victor Etheridge is slowly but surely creeping back up to Grayson Pate at that point. Last lap, Victor was running a 20.3, and then Grayson ran a 20.2. Unfortunately, Grayson has about a 1/10 of a second gap between him and Victor at that point. But, man, Victor's just driving it into the corners. Hopefully he can end up picking up some time driving it that way. But, man, I think the way that he is driving it, he's going to end up burning up those tires. Oh, here we go. Let's see if Victor can make that pass. There he is, right there on the backside of Grayson Payne. Oh, a little door action right there. Victor on the deep dive on the inside, and then had to do a little door banging action. But there he goes. He's driving it in a little too hard, getting a little too excited. But and there they go. Let's see if caution comes out. Hopefully they can keep it clean. Tom Ringer right there on the backside of Victor Etheridge too. A little bit of a battle between Tom and Victor. I think Victor knows better than to try and put the heat on Mr. Ringer right there. But we'll see. Just Grayson Pate, Tom Ringer, and Victor Etheridge just kind of not necessarily hanging back, but really the only three kind of battling it out on track right now. I mean, next battle that we have going on is Bobby Rowden on Ethan Horse, but there's roughly about 4/10 of a second gap between Ethan and Bobby, but we'll see if Bobby can end up making the pass on Ethan. John Crosby still our race leader of tonight on the backside of Will Weber. We'll see if he ends up getting that pass. And he does. I might have spoken a little too early. No, he ends up passing him on the inside lane. Will was nice enough to be able to allow him to pass through since Will is lap traffic this evening. Will currently 1 lap down. Behind him is Thomas Wynn. Brandy Yates 3 laps down, and Tyler Waltz 3 laps down. Sean Dion, unfortunately, out for the night. Brian Sousa on track, unfortunately, 13 laps down, and Jonathan McIntosh. Night was done early. John Crosby and Brian Sousa, both teammates of Whiskey Throttle Racing. Check back in on Cole Morton. John's putting on the heat tonight. He has really won that 6th win in a row. We'll take a look at the fastest 5 of the last lap. John Crosby with the 20.2. Zach Engel with a 20.3. Brandon Hinton with that same time. Grayson Pate, 20.4. And Cody Deek with a 20.43. Check our biggest gainers, biggest movers of the evening. Brandon Hinton, Cody Deek. Again, they were tied earlier for roughly 6 positions. Now Brandon and Cody have both worked their way up towards the front. Brandon up 10 positions. Cody Deek 9. Victor up 2, and Cole Morton up 2, and Tom Ringer up 2 as well. Tom Ringer in that 3rd position. Shortly behind him is Victor Etheridge and Grayson Pate. And it looks like Victor ended up making that pass on Grayson. Got to take a look to see how that ended up turning out. Just right there, looks like just on the bottom of 1. Coming down the start finish. Victor on that bottom lane, Grayson on the outside, Victor on the inside. Just ended up getting that momentum. Kept it clean there. And back down that start-finish line back into 1. Tyler Waltz. Good to see him back on track. And then you got now our race leader behind Tyler at that point, John Crosby. John Crosby trying to make the pass on some lap traffic. See if Tyler Waltz will allow him to pass on the inside without any trouble. I mean, we're gonna. He's been a hot name this evening. We're gonna go back to Victor Etheridge because right now he's about 3/10 of a second off of Tom Ringer. We'll see if Victor can make the pass on Tom, for that third position. We'll see if Victor can possibly get a podium this evening. That I do believe that will be his first podium of the season. Right now, it looks like Tom locked up those brakes. Almost got into the back end of Brian Sousa right there, number 60 on the outside lane. Tom and Victor trying to make the pass on some lap traffic. Then you got Grayson behind him. Brian Sousa staying high. Ooh, Zach Engel almost got into the backside of Brian Sousa. Had to check up a little bit. Oh, Victor Etheridge looks like he ended up coming up a little too hot at that point. Zach Engel going to make that pass on Victor. And again, like I was saying earlier, Victor has the pace this evening. It's just he's got to be more consistent if he wants to get towards the front and get that podium position because he has the time. He just needs to slow it down, be patient, and whenever he ends up getting back on the throttle, just keep it cool and going into the corner. Doesn't necessarily need to brake as hard. See right there, he's going to dive bomb. Ooh, almost gets into the backside of Zach Engel at that point. I was right on board with Victor. Oh. Is that a little love tap from Victor at that point? Or did Zach Engel just end up... Let's take that back really quick. Oh. Yeah, Victor gave him a little shove coming down the front stretch. That's what ended up getting Zach into the wall at that point. Ooh, and then Zach almost came down into the top of Victor at that point. I don't think the stewards are going to like this type of racing from Victor. Check back in on our race leader, John Crosby. About a 4.5 second lead on Cole Morton. Shortly behind Cole Morton, we have Tom Ringer, Grayson Pate, and Victor Etheridge, and Brandon Hinton, Cody Deek, Todd Perrant, Will Weber, one lap down, Ethan Horst, and a lap down as well, and that is our top 10 for the evening. John passing his teammate Brian Sousa again. Cole Morgan coming out of 2. Going down the backstretch. Grayson Pate. And then right behind him, Victor Etheridge, about 0.8 of a second. We'll see if Victor ends up getting the pace that's needed to get that 4th position. Oh, no. Caution is out. Caution is out. I wonder if at this point everyone's going to enter the pits and get a fresh set of tires. Let's take a look and see what happened with Bobby Rowden. Ooh, just gets loose? Or, yeah. Yeah, right there just got a little too heavy on the throttle. And then just that back end just came out from underneath him, we'll right in board. Yep, right there. And with that caution, ladies and gentlemen, we will go to a quick commercial break, and we will be right back.
Coming closer, know that deeper, I cannot confess. Drowning in the chaos, I can't catch my breath. I run, catch my coming closer, knows that I'm a mess. Tangled up in wires, I can't catch my breath. I run. Falling deeper, I cannot confess. Drowning in the chaos, I can't catch my breath. I run.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Pace car lights are out, and we are about to go under green one more time. Pace car is in, and we'll see how this restart ends up shaping up. Now we have, again, John Crosby in first, Grayson Payton second, Cole Morton in third, Tom Ringer in fourth, and green flag, here we come. What a big jump from John Crosby at that point. And again, Grayson Payton, not the greatest restart. Oh, Victor Etheridge into the back of Tom Ringer. Tom Ringer into the back of Cole Morton. Cole Morton on the bottom side of Grayson Payton. Ooh, caution is out. Caution is out. Oh, big checkup, big checkup, big checkup coming into 3 and 4. That is not ideal. Let's take a look at Brandon Yates at this point. Ooh. Oh, ends up collecting Thomas Wynn at that point. Just came in a little too hot and heavy into 1. Yeah. Tires are still cold. Ends up getting Thomas. We'll take a look at the wreck with Cole Morton and the race leaders coming into 3 and 4. Oh, Cole Morton into the backside of John Crosby at that point. It looked like John had slowed up because the caution had flew. And, yeah, Cole just didn't slow up fast enough. Got into the back end of John. And then everything else just kind of fell like dominoes at that point. With that being said, everyone essentially has kind of stayed out besides Brandon Hinton, Will Weber, Brandon Yates, Tyler Waltz back into the pits, Bobby Rowden, Thomas Wynn, and Zach Engel. Race leader currently is Grayson Pate, Tom Ringer, Victor Etheridge in third, John Crosby in fourth, and Todd Perrant in fifth. So with that being said, you know, again, a name that's been kind of a hot commodity this evening is going to be Victor Etheridge. We'll see if he can keep it clean, keep it straight, because from what we've experienced, you know, again, Victor has the pace to be able to stay on the podium. It's just he likes to dive it deep, and unfortunately, he's been getting into the rear of a bunch of the other drivers and drives it a little too deep, in my opinion. But we'll see if he keeps it clean. Pace car is in, lights are out. Going through 3 and 4, and here we go. Again, green flag is underway. Great jump from Grayson Pate. Oh, whoa. Little door action on Tom Ringer at that point. Looks like he just kind of went to go wide and didn't realize that Tom was there. Slows up Victor Etheridge. Cole Morton. Not Cole, excuse me. That's John Crosby right there behind him. Todd Perrant. Victor Etheridge, John Crosby, Todd Perrant, Cole Morton, and Brandon Hinton. We'll see if John can end up getting that pace back. and get back on the podium. We'll ride on board with Mr. John Crosby. Ooh, about to go side by side, entering one. Coming through two, Victor Etheridge, Grayson Pate. And right there, Victor Etheridge taking that lower lane, going to get the pass on Grayson. Then, up into the wall. See if he can get it slowed down. Oh, see, again, Victor just comes in a little too hot at that point. Oh, it looks like right there on that right fender of Victor Etheridge, he has some damage. Well, now we have John Crosby putting on the heat of Tom Ringer. We'll see if Tom Ringer can end up holding off John. But I think John's end up going to have this one in the bag this evening. We'll follow suit. Cole Morgan about 0.2 of a second off of Grayson Pate, about to make that pass. We'll see if he ends up getting it. Nope, too far out, going into 3 and 4, coming down the front stretch. And then, and John ends up making the pass on Tom Ringer, but not unfortunately, I feel like Tom at that point just kind of allowed him to have it. I think he knew that John had the pace to be able to make that pass and make it clean. Cole Morgan in third. And we'll take a look. We'll take a look at Cole Morton making that pass on Grayson Pate at that point. Yep, right there, coming through 3 and 4. Grayson looks like he got a little loose coming out of 4, and Cole just made that quick work of him. And then right there on the backside, you see Victor Etheridge again, just in the bumper of Grayson Pate. And ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Will Tiller has joined us in the booth.
Yes, sir. We are live from everybody's favorite paperclip here, and I come on just on that caution flag, as you like to say, Jacob. I breed cautions, and one comes just on the board as we come on the air here.
Yes,
that's coming off of 2 right there. That's a big pile up there down the backstretch.
Yeah, no, it looks like Will at that point, or excuse me, no, Grayson at that point ended up just getting a little loose, like you said, out of 2. We're right on board with him.
Just got really too low right there. You can't control that exit once you go that low in the corner. Oh, man. You're just going to feel that hard impact there as well down the backstretch.
Yep, and then you have Victor Etheridge. Ended up collecting him as well.
Well, I got to say, Jacob is just having a rough week. He had a rough week in the Tuesday night series. Not sure how he did in that Wednesday night series, but here we'll watch this bad luck. I mean, just a guy in front of you gets loose, T-bones into the wall, and you just happen to be right there on the high side of the racetrack. Boy, Victor is feeling it this week, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, looks like Victor has a little bit of wheel damage right there. See how hard he had to turn the wheel coming out of 4. Yeah, I see right there. Well, here we are. Yeah, Grayson's in the pits at this point, and like you said, we'll do a quick race recap. Roughly 5 cautions for 19 laps. Our man of the night, John Crosby, the race leader, and Will. I was saying earlier this evening, John might be able to accomplish something that has never been done before, and that is 6 wins in a row in our series.
Boy, 6 wins in a row. And Jacob, not to interrupt you here, but sometimes in iRacing you don't have participation, you don't have the field numbers. Sometimes you do, sometimes it's 30, 25 cars, trucks. Here in this series, for a feat like that to win that many races in a row, boy, that is just one of those I don't think is going to be touched for a while.
No, I don't believe so. So, if for whatever reason, if the world ends tomorrow, we'll be able to put it in the record book in RFRL that John Crosby was a 6-time win race winner.
But he's still got 100 laps to do it here at the paperclip as he takes that green flag into 1 and 2. He is leading Morton right there on the backside. You got Cody Deek up there, Victor Etheridge as well. He has moved up into the 3rd spot, even with that damage. But it is a 2-car race into 3 and 4.
Yeah, no, looks like everyone's getting a little hot right there. Victor Etheridge just little 3 wide action entering 1 and 2, but now back again into 1 and 2. We'll see if Victor. Looks like Victor, from that last caution, did not go into the pits to get some damage fixed. Looks like he just kind of stayed out. So I wonder if this is going to end up hurting him in the long run. Yep, right there. Yep.
Oh, as there was some impact there between the 6 and the 68. That is Tom Ringer now moving up to 3rd. Essentially just move the 6 out of the way there, Jacob, as we're now down the backstretch. Yeah,
no, Todd Perrant ended up making the pass on Victor, and see again, Victor's right there on the backside. Unfortunately, I'm going to probably jinx him, but he's going to end up ending one of these guys' nights if he doesn't end up making the pit stop to get some damage fixed, because right there you see it on the front bumper, how it's kind of smashed in a little.
And I think that's just the frustration of the week. I think kind of bowling over inside of the 6 machine. Currently in 6th, has some heavy damage to that front nose. The cool thing, though, at a short track, you don't really need a clean race car to contend. There's not much speed here, so you're not going to lose too much with that damage. Definitely going to be fighting that thing to the end here on lap 102. But we'll jump right there with Cody Deek. He is trying to get around that 6 machine. This is for that 6th position. 6 is all around as we cross that start-finish line into 1 and 2. That battle rages on.
Yeah, no, and good for Cody Deek because, again, somehow he has a magnet that for whatever reason, he ends up attracting all the chaos to him, and sometimes his night ends up getting ended early, but it's nice to see him in the top 10. We'll see if he can possibly get in the top 5, but right now you have Todd Perrant, and then in front of Todd you have Brandon Hinton, and man, some of these guys on these short tracks, it's going to be mission impossible to make the pass on these guys because they're just super consistent. They drive the corners nice and slow. They allow it to roll through the corner. Sometimes some of them trail brake going through, so it's just being able to save and just allow the car to roll through the corners.
Yeah, keep that thing locked down to the low side of the racetrack. Oh, what a shot that was. You got to see those brakes all on fire inside of that 68 machine. I've never seen that in iRacing. Oh, look at that shot right there, Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
What a shot on iRacing. Look at that to show the fiery brakes into the corner.
Yeah, no, and yep, right there you see John getting heavy on the brakes as well, same as Cole. And then Will, before you had gotten here, I mean, Cole has really been the only person to be able to put John on his toes this evening. And so we'll see if Cole can end up getting the pass on John on a couple of these next few laps. You see, it looks like John might have a little bit of damage right there on that left quarter panel.
Yeah, let's check out those lap times here and see what we're running with. Last time by for John Crosby was a 20 flat. Same thing with Cole Morton at a 20 flat. Actually, the fastest guy behind them is going to be Tom Ringer, who currently is putting up faster lap times than our leaders. But everybody basically identical there, Jacob, on the racetrack. Not much separation between our top 4 guys. Even though the lap times are about the same, there are intervals on the racetrack. Tom Ringer just ran a 19.9 last time by. So Tom Ringer, one of the fastest cars on the track right now.
Yeah, no, and like I had said earlier, Tom's he loves short track racing. Me personally, I despise it. I have that mentality. Faster is always better, which in short track racing, it doesn't always equate to that. And Tom will always preach to us, especially whenever we do team racing stuff. Just allow the car to roll through the corner, easy on throttle coming out of exit. And it's just, for some reason, 2 + 2 always equals 4 to me. And for some reason, I'm gas on. I'm all gas, no brakes on short track racing.
Absolutely, and I think as we watch John Crosby come off of the corner here, down the back stretch, front stretch, into that start-finish line, lap 1:12. I like to think of it as like a snowboarding or like a skiing or even surfing, to where short track you have to kind of give and take throughout the whole night. As you mentioned, you're not going to hit top speeds, you're not going to go 3-4 wide, you're not going to go on the high banks of Talladega or Daytona. It's going to be more of a methodical approach to the racetrack. You go to the inside, you go back out, you go to the inside, you go back out, but you have to be okay with that slow, methodical pace to the race. And as we're seeing right now, Tom Ringer is loving that slow, methodical, strategic pace to this race, as we're going to take an onboard ride with him across that start-finish line. And folks, if you haven't tuned into the Ratfinger Racing League, Tom is due for surgery here in the next couple weeks, so he is trying to make the most of everything here in these last few weeks.
See Will right there. I mean, you'll see a lot of the guys whenever we go ride on board with them. A lot of them will end up shifting down into third to be able to rotate the car a little bit more and to keep those RPMs a little bit higher so you can get on the gas. Not Tom. He stays in fourth. He allows it to roll through. Easy on the gas coming out of exit, and it's just it's an art, if you ask me. It's an art to the short track racing, and it's just some of these guys can get it, some of these guys don't. And it's and Tom's a saver, so I could see him maybe putting on the gas. John got loose right there.
John Crosby loose on the front stretch into the inside wall, loses that lead to Cole Morton, who now leads the way. That looks to be heavy damage on the 73 there, Jacob. It's thumping along here. Ooh, bumping going into the entry of the corner. That is not a good sign for the 73. You don't want to be bumbling and stumbling into each corner. It looks as though the 73 is fighting just that.
Yeah, no, we'll kind of. Zach Engel has crashed. We'll see if a caution has come out. But let's take a look at that pass really quick and see if the air came out from underneath him. Oh, no. Ooh. Yeah, he just got loose at that point.
What a save, though, for the 73. There is going to be some left side fender damage, possibly. But, boy, what a drive to avoid just a straight nose-first contact. Look at that wheel movement there, Jacob. Just a crazy ability to go from one side of the wheel to the other. Save it right there. Oh, boy.
Ooh, barely. Yeah.
Yeah, that could have been a lot worse. What a drive out of John.
Yeah, no, and we'll take a look at Zach Engel. It popped up on my screen that he had crashed, and I wonder if it was just a self-spin and maybe tapped the wall.
Watch right here.
Oh, yeah, self-spin.
Ooh, boy.
Not necessarily a crash.
Clean.
Yeah, good for him.
Just sort of pulled the E-brake there out of 4. Did a little Tokyo drifting here at Martinsville.
Ooh, Bobby Rowden's front end is torn to pieces. Let's take a look at that really quick. My Lord. God dang.
Oof. Oh, my goodness. That is not going to be savable at the end of this race. Going to have to throw that one in Dale Jr.'s graveyard, because that thing is just about toast. I mean, I think I see some smoke coming off of it too as well.
Yeah, It looks like it's floating right there in that left corner, but we'll quit picking on him at that point. We'll tune into our new race leader, Cole Morton.
Check him out, looking like Lightning McQueen with that yellow and red paint scheme. A little ka-chow action as he comes off of 4. Looking good on the behind-the-scenes point of view as well, and he looks to be locked in. And you talked about it, Jacob. He was fighting here early on this race to get the lead. He waited for that mistake of John Crosby, and now he is solely in the lead, and I believe he only has one more adversity to face, and that will probably be the last round of pit stops if it stays green. If not, that's just going to be a down the pit road, off a pit road situation for the 94. But right now on lap 125, it is Cole Morton taking us into 3 and 4.
Yeah,
woo. He got loose.
Yeah, you locked up the brakes at that point, and man, John is closing that gap. Or that it was at 9/10. Oh, look at him right there.
Cole Morton seems as though he's losing his car a bit, drifting up the racetrack from that low side lane. Very, very loose there. Watch him here down the backstretch into 3 and 4. Looks as though, Jacob, he's also fighting the car a little bit. He's basically stuck on that center line. Can't get it any lower than that. We'll watch here in 1 and 2. Oh, yeah, he's fighting some handling issues there in the 94.
Yeah, I wonder if he has...
just going to reopen the door.
Yeah, I wonder if he has a little bit of damage, too. I mean, I personally, I think everyone at this point has some sort of damage with the cautions we've had. But, again, roughly... I think it was we've had 5, in Martinsville. I feel like it's to be expected, especially with, some guys that are a little bit heavier on the gas than others.
Watch here, still on that center line, and I think what it's going to take is just the 94 to drift up just a little bit, and John will take that spot to the inside. And ride on board with Mr. Crosby. And folks, if you didn't know, he is a W Energy athlete. So make sure to use that JC73 at checkout for 10% off all your
John
energy needs.
Sorry to interrupt.
My goodness, what a battle, Jacob.
Yes. Oh, John's getting loose. Sorry to interrupt. No, saw him lock up entering 3. Man, John's really fighting it right now. And, like we had said earlier on Tuesday, John's kind of dealing with some personal injury stuff. I don't know if that's the appropriate way to say it. Yeah, man, John's locking up really bad. But, John's got 2, I think he had told me 2 or 3 herniated disc. And
wow.
Yeah, so he lost feeling in one of his feet, and he's all ibuprofened up and not icy hot. What's the biofreezed and all that jazz. He's got all the lube going, so we'll see if he ends. I wonder if it's wearing off right now.
The dedication is real for John Crosby. And right now, you can, if you're watching along with us here on YouTube, the Racing League, you can see exactly that 73 is literally, Jacob, just bouncing all over the racetrack. It's like a 1990 Jeep Wrangler out there. He has no stability right now in that 73, just bouncing around the racetrack. And any other driver, and I don't want to assume anything, would probably fall back, lose positions, basically lose that race car. John Crosby is so confident in his abilities that he knows he has a broken race car. He knows he probably doesn't have the best car out there right now, but he's keeping it together enough to where he's staying in the fight with Cole Morton, who just got loose off of 4. So just the smallest mistake could reopen the door for that 73.
Yeah, we'll see what happens at that point. But now everyone, I mean, these two are really the only ones on track kind of battling it out. See, and again, John's locking it up, which I wonder if he ended up getting some pretty serious damage from that, not last caution, but the caution before, where Cole ended up kind of tapping him in the rear and got him sideways entering 3 and 4.
As you mentioned, really the only other battle we have is between Todd Perrant and Victor Etheridge, who now that interval has now sprung to about 20 or so seconds. They might be right on top of each other here on the racetrack. That will be a battle for that 6th spot. Victor Etheridge still hanging on with that caved-in nose, as Todd Perrant is about 2 seconds away from him there as well. It is Will Weber, Todd Perrant, Victor Etheridge, the last 3 cars on the lead lap currently. And I believe we have to be creeping up towards that last window of pit stops there, Jacob. If I'm not mistaken, we're creeping up towards that window.
Yeah, so I wonder. We'll take a look at it. Oh, lap traffic right there.
Ooh.
Thomas Wynn and getting out of the way for Cole and John. But like I was saying earlier, the guys were telling me during practice, dang, John is just locking up, entering into 1 and 3 at that point. But the guys had roughly 135 laps of fuel on a tank. So, John got loose. Oh,
no.
Caution's
out. Caution is out, Jacob, for the 6th time here tonight. Wow, that's going to shake things up big time.
Yeah.
Watch John Crosby. I don't think it involved him, but he did lose a lot of positions there.
Yeah. I think
guys.
Yeah, I think just John ended up just getting loose at that point. Yeah, locks up.
73 machine of John Crosby. Boy, he's got those brakes just all the way down.
Oh, hits that lower curb.
And then just goes for a ride.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see if he has any heavy damage here.
Gets it locked up.
Boy.
No.
That's never a good sign when all 4 wheels are locked up like that.
Yeah, I think so.
Ooh.
Yeah, he ended up saving it.
What a nice little save there out of the 73.
Yeah, so now, Will, so this answers your question from earlier before I got long-winded. This is going to be that last final stop of the night, which we'll see how everything plays out. Cole Morton ended up staying out this time.
Very bold strategy there, probably thinking there's going to be at least one more caution, I'd have to assume, here down the end of this race. But that will shake things up. Watch out, iRacing pace car almost got taken out by the 73. There goes the 18 as well off the pit road as the field starts to resettle in here for what we would think is the last really push of this race until things get really crazy towards the end. As it will be Cole Morton leading the way. Tom Ringer currently in that 2nd spot. We got Hinton currently in that 3rd position. Todd Perrant, Victor Etheridge, John Crosby down to 6th after those pit stops. And Cody Deek is going to be the last car on the lead lap.
And real quick, before we go green, we'll take a look at the point standings really quick and kind of show everyone. So John Crosby, Tom Ringer, and Brandon Hinton are going to be our top 3. And, showing Tom Ringer end up either spinning out or end up getting sideways or something. I'm showing that he ended up crashing. So we'll take a look at that once we get going.
Let's rumble and stumble to that start-finish line. It's going to be Cole Morton, Todd Perrant going to be taking that green flag. And what a jump it is for the 94 as he takes the field into 1 and 2. Stalls it out just a little bit. Caution's out. We have a caution on the restart.
Yeah, it looks like, the caution ended up staying out. So I wonder if an accident happened whenever they were all trying to get bunched back up. Let's take a look.
Oh, no. For the 68 machine of Tom Ringer there. On the parade lap, Jacob. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, let's see.
Watching him warm up the tires here. And he's going to be warming up all the way off of 2.
Oh, he must have had some internet issues.
Yeah, completely stopped there down the backstretch and then was right back on the wheel.
Yeah, and then showing...
Very, very different.
Oh!
Oh!
Yeah, Tom just trying to dodge the guys actually going back down pace and ended up catching Brandon Yates at that point, unfortunately.
Man.
Oh, shoot. We are green now. Oh,
we are back under green here. We'll join the action already in progress as our new race leader, Todd Perrant, in that 69 machine, now leading the field over Cole Morton and John Crosby. And I had a feeling something would happen on that restart as well, because it was such a big jump out of Cole Morton. It didn't look like anybody else really was ready for that restart. As now Cole Morton will lose a spot to John Crosby, the only other car that didn't head down pit road on those last set of pit stops. But here comes Todd Perrant, the 69, leading us off of 4.
Yeah, we'll see if Todd can end up... we roughly have 52, 53 laps to go. So we'll see if Todd will be able to save his tires because, Todd ended up hitting on that last lap. So, he should be good to go to be able to make it through the rest of the race. But, right there in that 4th position, I'm going to call him the Blue Lightning because he comes in hot and heavy. Oh, John Crosby. Yeah, John Crosby trying to make the pass right there. Oh, let's see if he gets it down the backstretch.
Oh boy, they're drag racing here at Martinsville. They're going door to door into 3 and 4. The 73, the 69 going at it here off of the corner.
Yeah.
Whoever can hold the line. There goes Cole Morton there in the 94 right behind them. Victor Etheridge in the 6. Ooh, nice little tap from Victor Etheridge into the 94 machine of Cole Morton. Just let him know he was there, Jacob, into 3 and 4.
Yeah, no, and I think Cole's going to allow Victor to come through at that point because Cole's on older lap tires, roughly. Last time that Cole had pit was lap 72. So, yeah,
yikes.
Yeah, a lot older tires.
Yeah, and he is doing the Tom Petty free, falling down the grid right now. He is down to 5th, so he has lost just about 4 positions here in the last few laps. Victor Etheridge, though, he is going the other way. He is now up to 3rd, holding off Cody Deek for that 3rd position. Off of 2 down the backstretch. Victor Etheridge gets a little loose off the corner. There goes Cody Deek to the inside. The 13 machine will take that podium spot. But wait a minute. Here comes Victor Etheridge around the 13, who makes a mistake on the exit of 4. Boy, Jacob, it's just these slightest mistakes and you will lose your position on the racetrack.
Yeah, no, we'll see. Like I was saying earlier, if Victor can keep it clean, if he can keep the patience, don't drive it in super hard, lock up, make any silly mistakes, Victor has this one in the bag. Truthfully, I really think that he will be able to battle for that 2nd position if he can keep it clean and keep it on track. But Victor, unfortunately, sometimes lacks a little bit of patience, and he probably is super excited right now. He's beside himself because he's in that podium position. But if he can just keep it clean, I can see him definitely finishing 3rd, but maybe battling Todd for the 2nd spot.
And I really love that mentality that we're seeing out of the 6 machine of Victor Etheridge here into 3 and 4, lap 155. I talked about his week there in the Tuesday night truck series. Didn't go so hot. Wednesday night, we're not sure. We'll have to check back and check those results. But here tonight, we've seen him involved in a few things. He has damage to the front of that car. And I think at this point, Jacob, it could just be, just letting everything go. No care in the world. I'm going to do what I got to do, put this thing up front if I can, and just battle everybody until the end.
Yeah, no, and then, Victor had a little bit of speed from Cody, but then Cody ended up picking the pace back up, kind of getting the momentum back underneath him, and, yeah, right there. Like I said, and we'll see, Victor's going to try and drive it hard into the corner.
Ooh, boy. And it looks as though he may lose another position there as Victor Etheridge... No, that's a lap car he's contending with there, so he'll hold on to that 4th spot as Cody Deek now moves on to the podium. And we watch Cole Morton, he's now down to 5th. He's under fire from hitting there in the 5 as Cole Morton will lose another spot down to 6th now off that restart.
Yeah, Cole should have pit when everyone else pit, on lap 139 or lap 140 again. Yeah, and we'll take a look at this. Yeah, he's 86 lap old tires. At that point, you're not going to be able to have the pace to be able to keep up with the rest of the big dogs at that point.
No, he was kind of probably hoping for another yellow flag, and if I was Cole in that position, I probably would have headed down pit road after that yellow flag flew for that restart. That probably would have been a good move to head down there. Yes, you would have been at the end of the tail of the lead pack, but you would have had fresh equipment contending with everybody else, even fresher equipment there, Jacob. So curious to see that strategy out of Cole Morton. But we'll jump back up to that second position as Todd Perrott and Cody Deek are going at it into the corner.
Yeah, we'll see if Todd can end up. See, Todd's another short track racer. That him and Tom, both teammates, they tend to practice with one another quite a bit, and so yeah, at that point, we'll see if Todd can end up holding Cody off at, for that second spot. And then speaking of Tom, it looks like Tom is out of the race of tonight, shockingly. So I wonder if he was having some technical difficulties, because that's normally not like Tom.
Yeah, some technical difficulties, and then I think the frustration factor too as well. You spin it on the backstretch, you think you can get it back going again, and then somebody hits you again. I think just the overall of the situation probably just called it a night there in that 68. We talk about Tom, Mr. Consistent week in and week out. I believe he had a podium streak in this series as well as the truck series. He has a podium streak going in that series as well. So we hate to see the 68 machine take it to the garage. But right now, it is the John Crosby Show leading the way as we take an onboard ride with Cody Deek, who currently finds himself there in that third position, up 15 spots to the drop of the green flag.
Yeah, ooh, a little bump and run action. Hopefully he can keep it clean. Yeah. Gonna dive on the inside. Yeah. Uh-oh. What's going on here? A little connectivity issues on Cody Deek's behalf, too.
Ooh,
yeah.
We'll watch that battle.
Oh, yeah.
Right there. There he is. He's back into the picture now. A little now you see me, now you don't. As they go door to door into 3 and 4, the 13 and the 69. Now, Todd doesn't want to be on the high side of the racetrack, as he'll lose that position to Cody Deek, who now moves up to second, trying to chase down Mr. W himself, John Crosby.
Yeah, no, and John has put up quite the pace. Currently about two seconds of a lead. So we'll see. I mean, at this point, there's roughly 33 laps left. I mean, if John keeps up, right now it's at 2.5 seconds at that point. So we'll see if Cody can end up catching the same pace as what John is. But if not, unless if we have another late caution, I think John's got this one in the bag.
And the 26 machine that you see in your picture there, that's Horst. He is down in the 9th position, currently 2 laps down, but still staying in the fight with these lead cars. Looks as though we do have a battle behind these guys. That is a battle, I believe, just inside of that top 10. These are some cars really battling it out back here. This is Brandon Hinton in that 5, going at it there with Victor Etheridge. So this is for a top 5 position on the racetrack. I saw them side by side for just a minute ago. And for both of these guys, you see a heavy damage on Victor Etheridge, and you see no damage really on Brandon Hinton in the 5.
Yeah, no, and like I feel like I'm a broken record this evening. Victor has the pace. He even has the pace in a damaged vehicle, is what you can tell. But it's just, Victor just. And I don't want to be too harsh on him, but the truth is in the pudding. Victor is lacking the discipline that's needed to be able to be consistent, and again, he has the pace. He had the pace I don't think he ran trucks, but the week. Actually, no, he did run. He did run trucks. I apologize. At Chicagoland, and he had the pace there too. And like we had said, it's just he got into the backside of a couple of guys, and then on I want to say the opening lap, he got a little loose. He hit the bottom apron, didn't stay high enough, and it's just again, he's been learning how to be able to obtain that speed, but now it's just how do you obtain the speed and keep the pace in, essentially. Just keep all 4 wheels on the track.
Talking about keeping pace, just taking a look at those lap times, I was starting to wonder why John Crosby is setting such a fast pace. Because last time by there, Jacob, he ran a 20.4. Next closest guy ran a 20.56, so just consistently getting faster as this race is going on. Obviously fighting some equipment and some wear issues, which drops those lap times down just a little bit. But just last time by a 20.2 for John Crosby. Second place is 20.6.
Yeah.
So he is absolutely flying around Martinsville.
Yeah, no, I wasn't going to interrupt you, but yeah, no, he ran a 20.2, and I was like, man, like, yeah. And Cody's running a 20.6, 0.4 of a second. I don't think you're catching that rocket ship, unfortunately.
No, unfortunately not. No, I think he has left the station. He is in Earth's orbit right now. He is in another planet with the speed he has found here at Martinsville. But on the flip side of that there, Jacob, we're going to have some newcomers to the podium, it looks like, as Cody Deek and Todd Perrant and Brandon Hitton all battling it out for those podium spots. It's just whoever's going to finish on that podium. Victor Etheridge still has a shot at the podium.
Ooh, lap traffic right there. Oh!
Yeah, running into that as well. So still a lot of storylines to be had here.
Come on, Todd. And he locked it up entering one. Just silly mistakes, but he's still in that third position, and looks like Ethan Horst right there in front of him. And then now you got Brandon Hinton on the backside of Todd. So we'll see if Brandon's going to be able to get that third position, because now Todd's caught behind some lap traffic.
This is big time. This is for that podium. So a big battle rages on the racetrack. May not be for the race victory, because I think John Crosby's already putting in his cookout order right now for that victory celebration. But Brandon Hinton in that 5 and Todd Perrant still want to get a podium out of this as we're into the corner here on lap 180. Across that backstretch into 3 and 4. Fighting some lap traffic here. Jacob, that's the 26 machine of Horse, who just found himself there in the 9th position. Still a top 10 run, but he is 2 laps down on the racetrack.
Locking it up. Yeah.
Boy. And as we're down the backstretch here, I'm all for guys trying to get their laps back and really trying to stay in the fight here, Jacob. But I have to say, for a Horse there in the 26, it might be wise to let these guys go around as they're battling it out for that third spot. Horse, I think, has basically locked himself into a top 10, but really sort of playing monkey in the middle, lock jamming here this battle.
Yeah, no, and sometimes it's a little difficult to be able to get on the outside, but I mean, that's on bigger fields. I mean, we're 15, no, not even 14, 13 guys in, and so it's just my question to Ethan is, what are we doing here? Get over and let him by.
It looks as though he is trying, Jacob, to give him credit there, as now we watch the 26 machine. Looks as though he is trying to get higher on the racetrack into the corner to let the 5 go. But I mean, if the 5 won't take the opportunity, he can't let that door open there for too long. He wants to hold position as well, as now we're into 3 and 4. The 26 machine still blocking that 5 of Brandon Hinton. And all the while we talk about this, Jacob, John Crosby has now built his lead to over 3 seconds over Cody Deek in that 13 machine. As we watch this battle for third rage on. We're down the backstretch here on lap 185.
Yeah, no, and then Todd's roughly about 2 seconds behind Cody Deek at that point. And then again, we got Ethan Horst in the middle of a battle between Todd Perrant, and I'm really shocked that he hasn't gotten out of the way yet. But also too, Brandon almost tried to take it on that outer lane. There he goes. Let's see.
He goes. Yeah, Ethan Horst to the high side of the racetrack, Brandon Hinton to the low side. Just can't get there. That's the thing. I think the 26 is opening the door, trying to let him go by.
Yeah.
But Brandon just can't get that speed to get around the 2.6. And we watch now down the backstretch. We'll watch now into 3 and 4. This is for that last podium position on the racetrack. And it looks as though the 26 is just, doing everything he can. And the 5 just has to close the deal. He has to get around him. That is for third. Victor Etheridge also in your picture there. He's in the mix, and I think with the 2.6 kind of blocking everybody here, it's throwing Victor's name back on the mix for that podium as well. We're looking at just around 11 laps to go here Still some time to get some positions back.
Yeah, no, we'll see if Victor can pick up. I don't want to say pick up the pace. He has had the pace, but be able to catch up to Brandon Hinton and then maybe get around that lap traffic and catch up to Todd. But I mean, until Ethan Horst gets out of the way, I don't think there's any way to. Oh, Ethan went high right there.
Yeah, let him go by there. A little Olay action as Brandon Hinton goes to the low side of the 2-6. Victor Etheridge as well. He'll go around him as Victor Etheridge is up to 5th right now. Brandon Hinton in that 4th position is trying to lock into Todd Perrant at 69. Looks as though that gap may be insurmountable. Here live on a Thursday night, this is the Next Gen Series, the Rat Fink Racing League. And as we came on here tonight, there is history in the making, Jacob. John Crosby's trying to do something that has never been done here tonight.
6 in a row, baby. 6 in a row. And like I said, we were talking about it, and I sometimes jump in their team channel and just kind of chat it up with him and Brian Sousa. And, yeah, he was like, man, he's like, I'm in a lot of pain. He's like, but I'm just going for the record tonight. And I was like, okay.
Wow. And I believe this is the first 6 weeks of the season as well there, Jacob. So not only has he won 6 races in a row, this would be the first 6 weeks of the season. So what a way to really set the tone for the rest of the season.
You know, I did not realize that. Yeah, no, you are 100% correct. Yeah, because Jesse Gordon was our race winner in Daytona week 1, and then
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So then it was John.
So everything but the first one. So he let somebody else take the first one. After that, he's been absolutely locked in. And boy, he's starting to lose some speed here, about 2.5 seconds. I think it could just be John kind of letting off just a little bit, knowing that he has it in the bag, doesn't have to stay as locked in. With about 6 laps to go, really not much to worry about. Make it 5 now, as Brandon Hinton, Todd Perrant, Cody Deek are top 3 right there. Brandon Hinton down to 4th, Victor Etheridge 5th, Cole Morton 6th, Will Weber 7th. And then it gets down to Brandon Yates, a lap down in 8th, Horst in 9th, 2 laps down, and then the rest of the field is down pit road. But currently our top 10 ends with Pate in that 18 machine. But here we go, the last few laps of the race here, Jacob, as we're down the backstretch. John Crosby leading by 3 seconds.
Yep, and then what is it you typically say? Because three fingers in the air, wave them around like you don't care, or what is it again?
Yes, sir. Throw up those 3s. Rest in peace to Dale Earnhardt, because we have 3 laps to go here at the Paperclip.
Heck yeah, no. And then the Paperclip has claimed a lot of lives this evening, that's for sure. Ended a lot of guys' nights, unfortunately.
It looks as though, I mean, Pate in the garage could finish with a top 10 the way the carnage has been here tonight. As long as you have that thing parked in the garage, have it running, have the engine running just a little bit, you can get credit for a top 10. As right now, there are only just a few laps to go. It looks as though John Crosby will put on another driving clinic here tonight. Cody Deek looks as though he'll finish with his best finish of the season. But it is time to ride around with the man who will set history. Let's make it a 6-pack. This will make it 6 wins in a row. Going into 3 and 4, the man who has been untouchable all season long will make it 6 wins in a row, taking the checkered flag at Martinsville.
Then we got Cody Deek and Todd Perrant, and good for them. You know, it's good. It's good to see some of those guys get up on the podium. Well deserved. Stayed out of the as you see in Todd's or John's rearview mirror. You see Todd give him a little love tap.
And for John Crosby in that 73, not only was this 6 wins in a row, not only is he the points champion, but we've talked about it coming into this, folks. It's not as easy as just firing up your computer and racing. There's some ability to this. There's some strength aspects. There's some force feedback in the wheels, of course, with your feet and your pedals. And we saw it right there in that camera. John's fighting it. He is fighting through some pain here tonight. He is in agony even across that start-finish line. So this is even more impressive at a racetrack like Martinsville, where you can't really let your eye off the ball. You have to stay focused the entire time. And he did just that to claim his 6th victory of the season.
Mm-hmm. Now, we'll, whenever we get him in the booth, we'll have to see how his leg's doing. Because, yeah, like I said, whenever I talked to him earlier, he said it was pretty unbearable to where he wasn't allowed to be at work. So, I mean, if that comes to say anything.
Boy, he is having fun, though, burning it down here on the backstretch. And as you mentioned, across that line, it will be Cody Deek and Todd Perrant as our podium finishers. And Cody Deek not only gets his best finish, I'd have to say, throughout all the seasons here in Ratfink Racing, but he also finishes with that Hard Charger Award. So good drive to the 13 machine of Cody Deek.
Yeah, no, good for Cody. And he is the Hard Charger. You know, started from the back, and now he's here. Like the famous words of who is that? Drake.
That is Drake. Started from the bottom, now he's here.
Yes, sir. You know, and this is the pass that he made on Victor Etheridge to get into the P3 spot, and then at that point we'll take a look. You know, the pass that he made on Todd, right there on the lower lane. Todd just comes up a little bit high, and then just beats him down that start-finish line. Oh, this is where he had the connectivity issues too. Yep. Locks up a little bit.
Ooh, boy. And had to fight that, too. Fight the connectivity issues. Make sure you don't make contact. Into the corner. Just kept it locked to the low side. Man. And it's just these battles that we saw throughout the whole night. You know, just these one-on-one battles. You can't really get the BOGO action, as I like to call it, where you can go 2 for 1 on a super speedway. Here at Martinsville, you really got to go one by one to try to take those positions away. And what a clean drive that was. You know, you just push the 68.9 up the track, you go to the low side, you ride that momentum off the exit of the corner, and he's clear for that second spot.
Yeah. And what we'll do is we'll get Todd in the booth, our P3 finisher here shortly. Todd, are you there?
Sure am.
Well, you are live with Will and myself, and I know sometimes you like to get rowdy, so I have to give you a little bit of a heads up. We are live this time, so how does it feel to be on the podium?
Man, great. You know, especially at this track, because this is definitely not one of my favorites, but just hung in there and stayed clean and got a little track position on that last restart. And was able to hold it. So,
well, heck yeah! So now walk us through the final laps. I know it looked like you kind of locked up on that last looked like going into 3 and 4 where Cody kind of made that pass. You know, how aggressive were you wanting to get going into those turns to try and catch that position? Was it just you just didn't have the pace, or did you just burn up your tires? Kind of walk us through the final laps at that point.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about getting a rhythm, and I just screwed up and overdrove it, just trying to push, get a little distance between me and Cody, and see if I could catch John if his leg started cramping up or something, have a chance at him. But yeah, just messed up there. So.
Gotcha. So what was the biggest challenge tonight? Was it the brakes? Was it the traffic? Or was it just trying to make a pass in general?
Yeah, just braking at the right time, passing. Usually somebody's going to mess up, and then you're going to get a position there, and that's about it, really. Stay out of trouble.
Gotcha. Well, I'll pass it off to Will at this point, but congrats again, Todd, and it's always good to hear from you and see you on the podium because you're one of the founding fathers of RFRL, so it's always good to see one of the legacy members get up there.
Yeah, I hadn't been on the podium in a while, so I've been close, but I've been having some issues. So.
I guess my only question for you, Todd, is, with this podium finish, it was kind of like a methodical strategic race. How do you keep this momentum going? Obviously it's John Crosby's season with all these wins and everything, but you guys are still kind of in the fight for that second, third spot in the overall standings. How do you kind of keep this ball rolling into the rest of the season?
Yeah, just got to keep digging and do the best that I can. That's pretty much all you can do. I know John's going to be tough to beat, so got my work cut out for me.
Well, a great finish here tonight, coming home third. And Todd, before we let you go, my man, is there anyone that you wanted to shout out as we have you on the podium here tonight at Martinsville?
Yep, just thanks to y'all for broadcasting. Y'all do a great job, and RFRL and everybody here that does the things they do behind the scenes.
Well, we appreciate it, Todd. Great finish here in that third position. Speaking with Todd Perrant, the driver of the 69 machine, third here tonight at Martinsville. And Jacob, you mentioned it. It's these guys that are most consistent. They're week in and week out, really giving it their all. These results are really starting to come through for some of these guys.
Yeah, no, and it's again, like I had said earlier, it's really good to see some of these guys get on the podium. Because they show up, every week. They're consistent drivers, and it's the hard work finally pays off. There was. Earlier on the season, I want to say it was Atlanta. Todd at one point, had the opportunity to get a win, but was caught up in a late caution. I want to say probably 2 or 3 laps to go, and it just it's kind of set him back a little bit. But again, it's good to see him on the podium this evening.
Absolutely. And you talk about a guy that hasn't been on a podium just yet. And, Jacob, throughout some of these leagues and some of these seasons, this guy has just had bad luck after bad luck, been in and out, caught up in some caution flags down the stretch. But finally here tonight, not only does he come home with one of his best finishes yet, that second place finish, he also walks away with the Hard Charger Award. It is time to catch up with the 13 machine of Cody Deacon. Cody, we're watching that pass that you made on Todd Perrant there in the 69 machine. Take us through this race, which was basically like a carnage-filled race, but somehow you're able to finish on the podium.
Yeah, definitely one of my best performances ever in Ratvink. I was just kind of sending it tonight. Last night, it was horrible. I was out on lap 6 of 190, and tonight I just wanted to do something a little different. I'm like, I told him last night, don't allow me to start. Don't allow me to qualify. I don't want to qualify. I'm starting in the back. I don't want nothing to do with being in the pack. I just want to be patient. I want to be patient and just survive. That was the goal tonight, survive.
Yeah.
Survive in advance. Exactly, Jacob. And he did just that. And Cody, before I throw it over to Jacob here, we watched the battles throughout the race. John really checked out with the race. We kind of called that during the broadcast. He's starting to separate. But it was really you and about 3 other guys that were really battling it out for those podium positions. Did you really feel that intensity kind of build once everything kind of settled in?
I'll be honest, I've got very bad anxiety, so that anticipation starts literally lap 1. It doesn't matter if I'm in dead last or even if I'm leading the dang thing like IPR. I led like that 30 laps. My anxiety's so high, it's just my heart's racing from lap 1. I'm always stressing, I just want to finish.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
So Cody, my last couple of questions, first one is, how much, did the restarts, play a factor into working your way through the field? Is that something that helped you, or was it just it was even kill, or, what was your thought process on the restarts at that point?
To be honest, the restart scared the heck out of me. Because again, I didn't want to be packed up. I liked just working my way up. I wasn't looking for a podium. I was looking for a top 10. So I said, I want to stay alive in this points race. Just want to make the team proud. Want to earn the respect of the drivers on the track.
There you go.
That's just my biggest thing.
And speaking of points, I want to say you're top 5, correct?
I was sitting 4th coming into tonight. Hinton was ahead of me, so I think this is going to put me close with Hinton. I think Tom was up there. Tom didn't finish, so I could potentially be 2nd out of tonight.
Ooh. Well, that's exciting, and that's what I was saying to Will earlier. I'm super excited, especially for you and Todd, because you guys show up week in, week out. Always try y'all's best to race everyone clean. And for some reason, I said it earlier on the broadcast, and probably whenever you go back and watch it, it's sometimes you have a magnet, and chaos just likes to attract towards you. So it's really good to see you get that podium, And so my last question is: did you feel like you had a car that was capable of winning? So was it more just again just getting lucky, or you really felt like you had the pace? Like just kind of walk us through that, and then we'll wrap it up for you.
I'll be 100% honest with you. If you'd asked me that question in practice, I would have laughed at you. I mean, I was locking up every corner. I was throwing so many expletives in the Discord. I'm glad no one was listening, but Tom was in there. I'm not going to lie. I took a little cheat sheet. I just threw up on Google, fixed setup, Martinsville, and ended up finding some random website and just said, heck, let's try it out. And, well, I mean...
Here you are.
We are here.
Well, there you go. We will. I will wrap it up for us. Is there anyone that you want to give a special shout out to, or any sponsorships that need recognition? Take it away.
I do want to give you guys a shout out. I mean, you guys show up every Tuesday, Thursday. I'm watching the streams usually while I'm racing. Y'all do a heck of a job up here. Secondly, I mean, Oath Racing. I mean, they've kind of given me a little bit of a platform to kind of expand my racing desires. Ulti Energy, Lycan Forge 3D, Red Dragon. I know Crosby's rocking that Dubby, but I be rocking the Ulti Energy. They're another company, same thing as Dubby, but my opinion a little bit better.
Well, there you go. There you go.
There we go.
Well, Will, you got any last questions or anything for Cody before we let him go?
Any promo codes for that sponsorship, Cody, that the folks at home should know?
Yeah, give us a shout out.
It's going to be Code Scales with a Z at the end.
Oh.
As you can tell, I'm surrounded by reptile tanks on both sides.
Well, there you go. It's Code Scales. And you said it's Ulti Energy?
Ulti Energy, yes, sir.
ALTY?
ULTY. Right on the hood.
Okay, so like Ulta, the makeup store, but with a Y instead of an A.
I think, no, I don't think on the car I don't have the code. The truck's decked out.
Well,
front
hey,
to back, Ulti.
Next week you better get it decked out so we can show it for you. So, thank you again,
I love
Cody.
These short tracks. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir, and congratulations again. And go pop a couple of champagne bottles because you deserve it, buddy.
Definitely. Y'all have a wonderful night.
You do the same, brother.
Yes, sir. You too.
Thank you.
And that's Scales with a Z at ultienergy.com. That's Cody Deacon, that 13 machine, with his best career finish here in the Ratfink Racing League. But Jacob, I believe it is time to catch up with a man who has now set the record with 6 wins in a row, and I'm sure he is eager to wrap up this victory speech, as he has done a few now, to get home or get off the rig and rest a little bit, probably in some agony with this race.
Hey, you want to see something? Speaking of that.
What is that?
There we go.
Hey. Oh, it's your ice pack.
Yep, this was on my butt the whole time.
Oh, man. Icing down the butt as we're talking with the victor here tonight, John Crosby, 6 in a row. John, just, I mean, you went wire to wire here tonight, started on the pole, you win the race at the end. Man, just take us through how you're able to get it done week in and week out.
Man, this race was extremely tough. With me in a lot of pain right now. The last 10 laps, I couldn't even get full throttle. So that was very, very hard. But Brian's like, dude, you got to suck it up. Like, don't worry about it. You'll be fine. So that happened. And then I had some wheel and pedal problems.
Is that why you were locking it up in like every corner?
That, and that's how I lost it off of
4
a couple times.
Yeah, I was saying
my wheel was like 30 degrees to the left, and after the run goes on, it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And
I think that's what they call tire wear.
I wish. but this happens all the time, and it drives me insane. So I'm coming off the corner, and I don't know where straight is anymore. So that's when I like either overcorrect, and I'm not even trying to. I'm like not even getting sideways that much, but I'm turning the wheel back to save, or not save it, but turning the wheel back to the wall or something like that, and I have no idea where straight is. So, and then you're full throttle trying to get full throttle, and then after some tire wear, it'll spin off the corner, and I had some pretty good technical difficulties tonight, but
Talk about yeah, and talking about those technical difficulties, you also faced some physical difficulties as well here tonight, coming in a little injured, some back issues.
Yeah.
How much harder is it to race a track like this injured than, let's say, like a Daytona or Talladega? Is it easier one or the other, or is this race even harder where you have to keep that thing on the left side the entire time?
I think like a super speedway, I think that's tougher. The only reason I say that is because I don't know why I do this, but I only brake with my right foot. So gas and brake is with my right foot only. I do not left foot brake whatsoever. Tonight I had to basically learn how to left foot brake, and so I could save my right leg. And it helps, at a short track, I think, that I'm on and off the gas, and I'm using my leg so it actually doesn't feel awful, and I'm not sitting there with the throttle pinned all the time. So and I also have a habit of when I'm full throttle, I want to make sure it's full throttle, and I'm putting my foot through the floor for some reason. I don't know why, but I do it for work too. I drive truck for work, and if I'm loaded going up a hill, and I make sure that thing's through the floorboard. I don't know why. It's weird, but I do it in real life too.
Oh boy! And Jacob, speaking with a man who now has set a record in Ratfink racing with 6 wins in a row. Any thoughts about our champion? I don't want to say champion just yet. Champion here tonight, but 6 wins definitely puts him in a good position.
I mean, John, you're making sure you're going to get that trophy, aren't you?
I'm trying to make my chances the best. I took last night off because I wanted a chance to at least make a little bit of history tonight. So,
you think you're going to be able to make it 7 in a row at this point?
Where are we racing next?
We are racing at Auto Club.
It's going to be tough, but I think we can do it. I know a few guys in here that are really good at Auto Club, so we'll see. I think I like our chances, especially with this new W Energy Camaro that we have, and looks good. So hopefully it makes us a little bit faster. Shiny paint makes it another 5 horsepower. So.
Yes, sir.
You look good, you feel good, I suppose, right?
Right.
There you
That's
go.
right.
Well,
John, before we let you go, I wanted to ask you, man, what's the recovery plan? I know you've won 6 in a row, but I'm sure after this you're going to be hitting the Epsom salts and the Tylenol a little bit after this race.
Yeah, I'm going to physical therapy right now. Last time I went, the doctor's like, "You still working?" I said, "Yeah, I'm trying to." And she goes, "How?" And I'm like, I gotta have to. But it's just trying to rest up. So this weekend I'll be doing a lot of resting. I feel very lazy, especially with a 4-month-old. So my girlfriend's really doing everything. So big shout out to her. But I'm kind of limped up here, so I'm laying in bed with my feet up and doing some exercises. And it looks pretty cute when you walk in on me, and I'm, upside down, hanging around, and I'm trying to stretch out my leg, but man, I can't even get it straight. So I'm walking with a limp, and it's pretty rough, but it's all right.
Oh man,
it can't be that bad if I can do this.
That's right. But before we let you go, get to that recovery, John. As Jacob was alluding to, you've now set a record in Ratfink with 6 wins in a row. Is there anybody that you want to shout out or thank for now putting your name in the history books here in Ratfink?
Man, the Ratfink team, for putting these on every single week. I mean, I can't thank these guys enough. They do an amazing job. The racing's fun. The people are great. So big shout out to them. Whiskey Throttle, Brian, Christian. Too bad Christian couldn't make it tonight. But Brian, tough break for Brian too. I don't even know what lap it was, and I think it was first lap. He got like 6 minutes of damage, and I felt so bad. Whenever I'm in a race, he always gets screwed up, but it is what it is. But big shout out to Whiskey Throttle and definitely you guys for putting these on. So and Dubby, I mean, I rocking the Dubby. I drank a lot of this already, and I'm gonna be probably not gonna sleep tonight, but yeah, clean energy. It's great. No jitters. So yeah, great stuff. I love it. If you guys want to give it a shot, just go to the W website and use code JC73 for 10% off and get yourself some W just like me, and maybe you can run 6 in a row, make some history.
Hey, Jacob, he's getting so comfortable in victory lane, he's cutting promos now. So
I know. Yeah. We're going to have to start getting you a commercial. Lord.
There we go. But the winner at the paperclip here tonight, 6 wins in a row, does it in style from the pole position. Your winner here tonight, Mr. John Crosby. We appreciate you, my man.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, brother.
That was the 73 machine of John Crosby and Jacob Boy. I mean, came into it injured, fought through some adversity, had to change his foot pattern. I was actually up here in the booth trying to figure out the different pattern he was talking about. And, going from that one foot to using the gas and the brake pedal, that's sort of like what you want to do. You want to have that other foot freed up. Here tonight, switched the entire thing up. Used the left foot for the brake, kept his right foot on the gas. Just a completely different strategy, and again, it paid off. And as you see, if you're watching along with us here on YouTube, it is John Crosby's name essentially across that entire graphic there, Jacob.
Yeah, no, John put the beat down on the boys this evening. And, again, like I'll pull it up really quick, with these point standings, currently he's got a 50-point lead on Tom. And then, it's Brandon who's, 5 points behind Tom, and then Cody's 9 away from Tom. So, I mean, that second and third spot is, much as Tom's as what it is anyone else's. But, John, after tonight's finish, again, we don't have Tom in the lead or even in the top. Did Tom no, Tom didn't finish in the top 10. He finished 15th. So, I mean, that's going to hurt his points battle. And, yeah, we'll see how that all shapes up. But, yeah, no, like we were saying earlier, John's name is all across the board. And it's just a straight massacre, if you ask me.
A tutorial on how to race the paperclip, and I think all the storylines really lie in those point standings there, Jacob. As it's been the John Crosby show, a lot of these other guys have really consistent runs, really starting to stack up some top 10s and top 5s as we close things out. But folks, it is time for your official results of the evening. After we just talked with our podium finishers, John Crosby, Cody Deek, and Todd Perrant, just outside of them, we had Brandon Hitton coming home in that 4th position. Victor Etheridge, a.k.a. Blue Lightning, comes home 5th. Cole Morton, 6th. Will Weber in that 7th position. We also have Brandon Yates in 8th, Ethan Horse in 9th, and Grayson Pate in that 18 gets a top 10. After that, it's guys that just had really rough nights, talking about Bobby Rowden, Zach Engel, Brian Sousa, Thomas Wynn, and unfortunately, Tom Ringer was a top 3, top 5 car here tonight. Is going to walk away with a 15th finishing position. Tyler Waltz, 16th, and to round out our field, we have Sean Dion at the end of the line there. And Jacob, we talk about it each week with John Crosby. Comes in, puts on a show for everybody at home. Here tonight, though, not only physical adversity, but also faced a lot of adversity on the racetrack as well, with the wheel giving him some fight. He spun out a couple times, had to fight some other people for that lead. but ultimately it is him getting his 6th win in a row.
Yeah, no, and we go to Auto Club next week, so I'll be interested to see how that all shapes up, because again, short track racing is definitely, in my opinion, a specialty for some guys, and it takes a lot it's a lot of technique, in my opinion. There's certain lanes you can run, but then also it's shifting, like what we had saw with Tom. He didn't shift down into third like most guys. He stayed in 4th and just rolled the bottom at that point. But now with Auto Club, you're going to see a lot of guys full throttle open, and then at that point it's really picking which lane is going to allow you to get towards the front, because you can run there's several lanes that you can run at Auto Club. You can run that bottom lane all the way around, but then you're going to burn your tires up, or you can run the top lane, save, but you're going to end up losing a lot of pace. So it'd be interesting to see how next week shapes up at that point.
We're going out to the West Coast next week. You heard it from Jacob first, going out to Auto Club, returning to Auto Club. But here tonight at the Paperclip, it was John Crosby putting on a show, getting 6 wins in a row. But if you like what you saw here tonight at the Ratfink Racing League, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button to stay notified for everything Ratfink Racing League. But for myself, William Tiller, joined up in the booth here tonight by the lead commentator and producer, Jacob Williams. We want to wish everybody a great night. We'll catch you back here Tuesday for Tuesday Night Trucks. It is John Crosby winning again here at Martinsville. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you soon.
We are back here on the Ratfink Racing. We're going to do 130 laps, 3 sets of tires, as they're rolling off pit road.
Roger, you got a copy up there? I do, sir. You ready to kick this thing off? Let's rock and roll. Hey, stars off. You ready?
Green flag here, racing once again in the Ratfink Racing League.
First opportunity getting into turn 1 and 2, and they're going to see Nate Lesto on the bottom side of that Nesquik Toyota Camry. Huge run.
John Crosby in the 77. We'll go at it, the 73 and the 77. Door to 1
Out
and 2.
of turn 4, and they start heading back. Oh, the name wreck 18's around big move on the ringer. Just hurled to the inside. That was nearly a mess.